After the death of the Prophet Noah, there were only believers on earth. Then, people returned back to worship idols. Among those people, the tribe of Ad. Ad were the first people who spoke Arabic. They lived near the sea in the sandy mountains of Yemen called Al-Ahqaf. They were huge people. Their bodies were big and tall, with strong muscles. They used only the biggest rocks to build their homes. Allah's way on earth is to always send a man to people who go astray before destroying them. This man is called a prophet. Allah sent the Prophet Hud to warn them and to invite them to the worshipping of Allah alone. They had 3 idols named Sada, Samuda, and Hira. They used to go to their temple to worship them, sacrifice animals and jewels for them, and ask them help and support. Prophet Hud began his difficult mission telling people to worship the only God and to leave worshipping of the stones. But as usual, they refused to listen to him. Hud never stopped telling them to worship Allah. They were laughing at him and accused him of insanity. They said, "We are the strongest people. No one is stronger than us. Our mighty city of Aram is the largest city in the world. You will never find a pillar as tall as ours." Only a few weak, poor became believers. They worshipped Allah secretly in fear from the bad, arrogant disbelievers. The disbelievers challenged Allah and told Hud to let his God show them his power and strength. "Let your God show us his punishment. We would love to see what weapon he would use." Hud was angry. "The punishment has begun, so be prepared," Hud said. Hud and the believers left the city after they knew that those people will never listen to them. After they left, the punishment of Allah began. For 3 years, the sun started to get hot with no sign of rain. The plants died and so did the animals. People suffered, but they were so stubborn they still did not want to have faith. Then they finally gave up. They went to ask Allah his help, but it was too late. A huge amount of dark clouds filled the sky suddenly. People were so happy they thought that this is the relief. They raced towards it, but actually that was the promised punishment. The wind blew so hard, it became colder and colder. It began holding people and throwing them into the sky. The wind kept blowing for 7 nights and 8 days, killing disbelievers and destroying their homes. The whole city was wiped out. People were laying scattered on the floor like empty dried fronds of a palm tree. That was the fate of all disbelievers and a lesson for people to come.